Loose Leaves, Peace Amidst the Radical Change, written and read by Alicia Fall. Chapter 4, Time Stands Still. Words dance on a page, the mind's constant churning, the soul's blessed yearning for home. Take it or leave it, enlightened or pained, can't we just walk each other a little further on? I sat listening. As I sat, I could see the trees swaying in the window. There's wind beyond these walls. How strange, I don't feel it. Is it like that? The me that is inside watching, untouched, so imperceptible. I missed her for so many years. There she waited with that shy Mona Lisa smile and intense willingness. Life goes on all around me, and this force is unaffected, ever renewing. The shore washes up, and everything's soon a distant memory. The footsteps, the scratches with a shell, all back to nothing but sand and water, a blank canvas. Every moment, a new beginning. Life and art form in the simple breathing of one moment to the next. Right now, what do you notice? You have this here, these words. What do they tell you? I don't know your past or your future. I only know here. I know only here. You could be no past, no future, only here. What would change in that? What would not change? This wave of reality that peaks at now. Did you catch it? Did it catch you? Yeah, there it comes. The mental hissy fit. Isn't that simple? What about what would I be without past, future? Are you trying to make me crazy? Maybe. Join me. On this little mountain, there's vast potential. Anything can happen right now. Feel into that part of you deeper now than the mind that is suddenly terrified. Anything? Something bad, we always say that first. Something bad could happen. Something good could happen. Again, with duality. I could die? Yes, feel that. Oh, how freeing. You could die. Are you embarrassed now? Are you angry with me for bringing up this most common elephant we ignore? Death. Some undetermined amount of cells have died just today. Death lurks in all corners of life. Maybe we can't go there in the mind because it stops everything we think is so important. Everything we think we know. We don't know. Go even deeper below that terror. Sit in a nice, bubbly bath of uncertainty, maybe while you're stuck at home in a pandemic. What is there? Dig deep. You're the only one that has that shovel. Strangely, when you've dug yourself clear through, like those cartoons I watched as a kid, where you come out in China, there are beautiful souls waiting to greet you. They've been cheering you on all along. In one space, I experienced many different versions of myself. On the farm, in the dining room, on the farm at the dining room table, I sat telling my parents we were having a third child. I did not say to try for a boy because so-and-so have 3, why shouldn't we? Because it just seemed the next thing to do. There was no need to express any of those unconscious motivations. They're excited. 20-some grandkids isn't too many. I was proud to be living up to that cultural standard to marry and have children, like my Catholic parents. It seems so silly in retrospect for that to be reason to heap these piles of stress on my life and bring another life into the world. Of course, I love my number 3 princess, but I work with people desperate to get pregnant. I could take it for granted that I became a mom on cue 3 years into marriage. See, if you're going to have a child, let them be a relentless desire in the pit of your heart. No less than that focus is required to survive their childhood, as you relive your own childhood. With each birth, I birthed a new part of myself. With each birth, I was left a mess in many messy ways. My daughter has not met my expectations. What a good thing that was. May she be free to meet her own expectations. What an overdue reality check I was due for. Life doesn't do exactly what any of us want, neither do our children. Sometimes they do way more. I've been fortunate with the scrapes and breaks and farm family traumas to have experienced really only one. At the dining room table, older brother teasing me with a brand new paring knife. "I'm gonna cut off your bacon," he says. I was especially chubby at that age, and I just snapped. I reached out, grabbing, and that knife sliced right into my right index finger. I was like my middle daughter's age. If that happened to her, oh, how different it would be. How much fussing and worrying, foot rubbing would follow. But back on the farm, I grew up in 1988. Quick as a flash, I ran to the bathroom, trailing blood, and was eventually hauled into town for stitches. Whatever they gave me made me so tired. So later, I was laying in bed. Dad yelled at me for doing such a dumb thing. Mom yelled at him for yelling at me. I know now, being a parent of 3, and they were parents of 9, they had their stress, but as a kid, in that moment, I think I finalized the verdict that there could never be any expectation of comfort from people. And food was definitely much safer, no matter what anyone said about me and my bacon. There at that same dining room dinner table, putting our first child, tiny little fragile thing at 2 weeks, on the scale my mom used to weigh chickens, laughing at my mom comparing her to a big chicken, steadily reeling in the ropes of motherhood from her capable hands. Only back in North Dakota because father-in-law's passed away. Bittersweet, joy, grief. Same dining room table, experiences layered upon experience. Trauma, sadness, celebration. This is one lifetime, one space, one house with one owner. 613 on 3rd Street is one of the oldest buildings in Bismarck. One house, countless owners, and people pass through this space. I spent a couple of years there doing massage, some clients I still see today. I spent so much time contemplating how not to let acupuncture fall to the wayside. I was, after all, in 6-figure student loan debt on account of acupuncture. Folding laundry, word searches, meditating, swallowing my pride, and planning. Group acupuncture, how would that work? What kind of space do I need? Now I have the perfect space. I can see up to 6 clients at a time. In 2007, how I would make a living off acupuncture, which at the time wasn't even licensed in the state. I was all up in the air in a cloud of anxiety. I worked 3 jobs at one time to pay down debt, to save money so I could get on my own. Communing with the ghosts in that upper room where we would do massage. Thinking how many prostitutes lived here in 1910, and was I maybe just bored or delirious, but wanted to think I was making a difference, meditating in that space so heavily layered with unspoken experiences. Same place, experiences and experience, layers of living. Now, the same building is where my daughters attend school, an awesome alternative private school. Will respect you as a child, will let you play and think your own thinks kind of school. In that same space that I spent countless hours making spacious, my girls get to learn and thrive. I feel so tickled to think of me once massaging in that same room that a yet unborn daughter is now spending her days playing and growing. The timeless renewing of space, the spacious renewing of time. We think there's something we could not deal with. That sentiment is only from the panicked mind. Sit and deal. Look up and say, wow, is that only last week? I feel so different. Because you are different. Another layer. The young, angry, ashamed girl, the trying, proud young woman, the delirious new mother, all those layers of me becoming. Recently I sat at that dinner table. Has anything changed, really? Dad's looking old, Mom is fussing. This may be the last time. It could be. It settles like a stone in my belly. There's talk, official family meeting type of talk, of moving my aging parents into town. They are stubborn, though, through and through. I raised a bunch of stubborn, hardworking kids. But eventually, how different that would be. How different that wouldn't be. saying goodbye to the farm, the space that's charged with memories, layers of time, layers of space that flow into these wonderings. Saying goodbye to my parents as I left home again and again and again. So what spaces do you inhabit beyond your body? What memories live there? Can you allow it to settle into this present sense of being, always in the midst of it? Now, time stands still.